Welcome. We've got with us Lauren Parker. How are you, Lauren?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Excellent. I'm very well. I'm very well, thank you. So we've got you ahead of your Unified Promotions debut on November 26th up in Sheffield. So we're going to come on to all of that, how you've come to be on it, and where your career is. But let's start. You've got you're obviously in the right environment behind you right now in the boxing gym. This is part of your ongoing kind of training of others as well.
Yeah, this is my gym at home. So I train three locations really. So Stevenage Boxing Club, where I see my coach all day. I also travel to Essex, Dunmow, Essex, where I see Paul Webber. And then sometimes part of my schedule when I don't see them and it's just like some strength and conditioning stuff, or maybe if I can't meet up with them in the week, I've got this here at home where I can crack on and I'm not missing out, which really works perfect. I'm very blessed.
So you get to be able to do all the bag work at home?
Yeah, I've got all my bags here, got like strength and conditioning stuff with treadmills and yeah, loads to put myself through my paces pretty much.
Excellent. So that gets you in good position then for November 26th up in Sheffield, Unified Promotion show. How much are you looking forward to it? Let's start from that, because I know you've been out the ring for, it'll be nearly 2 years, won't it, by the time you get in?
Yeah, literally 2 years, just shy, I think. I'm really excited for it. I've worked really hard for the past 2 years, you know, haven't took my foot off the gas at all. If anything, worked harder than I've ever worked before. But obviously being 2 years out, you know, I've got this contract with Unified. And with that as well comes a TV deal. So it's kind of gone from small hall, sort of doing my bit, to, okay, wow, you're now going to be on TV, this new promoter's promoting you. And, you know, I spoke to you before, Martin, about, you know, I can be quite shy with things like that. And for me, it's a little bit like, oh, it's big time, you know? But yeah, I'm one of these people where I'll get shy or I'll get a little bit anxious, a bit nervous or whatever, but I feel that I have to do these things to push me on, and that's the only way that I'm gonna be able to put myself out there and get better at what I love doing. So I'm just really grateful for the opportunity. So yeah, just gonna grab it with both hands and yeah, go for it. 26th.
Yeah, it's up in Sheffield, so it's a bit of an away day for you, isn't it? You're a Southern girl. Are you bringing people up with you?
Well, it's kind of, well, I don't know if I can really say it, but it's kind of been moved around a little bit. So yeah, originally I thought it was going to be in London, and then it got moved to Brighton, and then now it's been moved to Sheffield. So when we had it in Brighton, I had about 70 people in hotels. That was without even putting it on social media. That was just literally telling like direct friends and stuff. So I had quite a lot of people there. But then it got changed to Sheffield, which is a little bit annoying, but to be honest, I'm really grateful for the support that I have got. So I've got about 40 people coming still. It's not great, but considering it is off my home turf, I'm just really grateful that I can still get them people there.
But also for your performance, it might be nice to take a little bit of that pressure off. You're not at home with kind of 100 people, you know, kind of waiting for you. It might be a little bit nice to ease it a little bit.
Well, you say that, but those that aren't coming are then going to see me on TV. So I've got that added extra pressure as well, haven't I? So, yeah, I mean, do you know what? I've just got to go out there. I can't even focus on who's really there, to be honest. Obviously, I appreciate the support, but I'm there to do one thing initially and put into practice what we've been working on for the past 2 years. So, yeah, the support's great, but yeah, I've got one thing to do.
And as soon as that bell goes, you're only going to hear Paul and Paul anyway, aren't you?
Exactly. Which is a funny thing. You can have so many people there, but that's two voices that you hear, and that's it. You know, it's quite incredible, really.
Yeah, I've been in the ring myself and found the same thing, that you know, you can have how many people there and you only hear those people in the corner.
Just them people. It's crazy. Selective hearing.
So let's give people a bit of background as to who you are, Lauren, boxing wise. So as a professional, you've had 6 fights now, 4 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss.
Yes.
Got it right. Excellent.
Yeah.
Super flyweight, is that where you're going to be campaigning at?
Yeah, pretty much super fly. As an amateur, I used to box flyweight. But I think as I've matured and, you know, with the training that I've been doing, I've managed to change my shape a little bit. So, you know, I've been doing a lot of strength and conditioning, and I think that the 51 kilogram mark flyweight is just way too low. And I love my food, and, you know, I would hate to have to cut it back that much now. It just makes you miserable. So yeah, 52 and a half would be championship weight for me. So yeah, that's a better weight.
But yeah, I mean, as much as it's, you know, you might enjoy your food, you might not have to diet and be so strict about it. Also, do you feel that brings out a different performance in you?
Definitely. I think by cutting the weight too much, it can sometimes, you feel a bit drained. And you, I don't know, maybe you feel like you lose a bit of strength, or whether even if you don't lose that strength, it's mentally as well. It really can play on you and your performance. And sometimes I can be a bit of an overthinker. You know, I'll have a week out of the gym and it's like, oh my God, I'm unfit. You know, I'm no good. I've started at the beginning. It's like, no, Loz, like, stop it. You know, you're fit, you're good to go. So yeah, I think mentally it can have an effect on you. Sometimes physically as well. So I think just that little bit heavier will suit me better.
Excellent. We're going to come back to your training regime shortly, but I wanted to hit on Unified Promotions and being a new promotional organisation and body fronted up by a lady, Susanna Schofield. How incredible is that as a female in boxing? You know, obviously the sport has grown and grown significantly over the last few years, but to have Susanna as kind of the front of the organisation, you know, with others around her as well. But how great is that in female boxing to have somebody involved who's a female?
I mean, I think it's great. I think women, even when they're boxing, I think a lot of women are coming through now, and you're really seeing that. But I think that's another side of things, not just the boxing, is the promotional side of things. You don't really see a lot of women involved. Even coaches and things like that, you don't really see it that often. So for her to take this step and, you know, to put her focus on women's boxing, I think it's just another good step in the right direction, really. And yeah, for me personally, I'm just really thankful. You know, she understands the barriers that women have in sport, and hopefully she can knock down some of them barriers and give the girls the opportunity that they deserve. So yeah, I think it's a really, really great positive thing.
Yeah, I mean, she's shown her success elsewhere in businesses, in other sports, and to bring it to boxing and provide those opportunities for females, specifically targeting that female, those opportunities, I think it's fantastic. To put on a card, you know, you're going to be on an all-female card. How does that feel?
I mean, I think that's great. Am I right in saying that I've never really seen that before? We see a lot more women, you know, on these cards, but not just an all-female, not that I can think of.
There's not one that I can think of on a British.
Not UK based, is it anyway?
Yeah, not UK, not British Boxing Board of Control card.
There you go.
I might be wrong, but I think you might be part of the first one.
Yeah, so that's like a bit of history, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's good to be a part of. I'm yeah, very grateful.
Yeah, but I think that's great. You know, you'd be sort of, you know, setting new ground for young females who'll be watching as well, because, you know, I've got young girls myself, and I'll make sure they stay up and watch you and watch the other females involved, and they're there on, you know, seeing what it is on the night.
Exactly. I mean, I think it's great. Like, all boxing, I like to regard it as just boxing, not female boxing or male boxing. You know, when you watch these cards, I mean, let's just take the one that happened recently with Chantel Cameron. I mean, that fight was absolutely fantastic. It's as good as, if not better than, any blokes that I've seen. And I'm not being funny as well. A lot of people that watch boxing and that I speak to, a lot of them say, you know, they really look forward to the women's bouts. And I think because they've got a lot to prove, and a lot of the time they're way more exciting because you don't see it as often as obviously the men. With men, it's kind of expected, you know, that masculinity, and you're going to go out there in that fighting game. But with the girls, it's like, oh, okay, what are they going to bring? So it's interesting, you know, and it does draw eyes onto the sport. And hopefully, yeah, more people will be open to it, and just, yeah, accept it that these athletes, these women, they want to be there, they've trained hard, and they deserve to be there.
100%.
You know?
And one of the absolute groundbreakers in the sport is Natasha Jonas, who will be there on the night as part of the team. How great is
Yeah.
that to have, you know, an Olympian, two-time world title challenger, being there, supporting the show and being involved?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It just goes to show how much it's growing and stuff. Yeah, I mean, she's going to be there. She's an absolutely fantastic athlete, achieved so much. More pressure for us, more eyes, you know, that know the sport and stuff. But yeah, it's just, I just think it's fantastic and how it's growing. It's brilliant. And I'm just pleased to be a part of it, really, that I've been given the opportunity to be a part of it. You know, I've worked so hard for so long now, and it's one of those things where, you know, there's so many good athletes out there, but unless you get the opportunity, you're never gonna be able to push yourself, you know. And I kind of feel like that's where I've been a lot of the time, like behind the scenes. No one really takes a notice, you know. I've never had the opportunity. No one's really pushed on for me, but I've stuck at it, and I feel like now this opportunity's come through, and there's more opportunities for women. You know, it's just gonna grow more and more, and it's good, you know.
And is that, and I know you haven't got an ego particularly, because I've, you know, we've spoken before various times. I know you're quite an introverted person. You don't carry that, but is it quite a nice ego / confidence boost that you've been selected to front up that kind of that unified promotion stable, that first card? There are more and more women involved in the sport right now, but you're one that's involved in that first show that's going to be broadcast on TV. That must be a nice, you know, kind of pat on the back for you. And, you know, will that help with the kind of confidence on the night as well, take you up a level with your ability?
Yeah, I think so. And I think with boxing, you know, you've physically got to be good at things, but mentally you need to be in a good place as well. And you really do have to believe that you're good at that. And I think, I'll be honest, maybe confidence hasn't been on my side a lot of the time, but I think with the past 2 years and training real hard, you know, I've had that time to really focus on that. Now I've got this opportunity that's come through. I think, yeah, definitely, it's a massive confidence booster that they've even picked me, you know, because I'm not being funny. Like, you look at the top, some of the top girls that are out there now headlining these shows. A lot of them have had backgrounds. They've been on the GB teams, England teams, you know, won this title, that title, and they're kind of worthy of that spot. I'm not saying that I'm not, but I haven't been on Team GB, you know. I haven't done that. I had 20 amateur fights. Obviously, I've had 6 pros now. So really, in terms, if you was to look at my record, you could say I'm slightly inexperienced. But with what I've done and the people that I've sparred with and things like that, you know, yeah, not overly experienced, but it's just, yeah, nice to be selected for that, considering I'm not one of these that have come off the back of Team GB, I guess. So yeah, it's good for confidence.
Yeah, but now you are worthy of that sport. You are going to be a televised fighter come November 26th.
Exactly.
So fantastic. So speaking of that, you'll be on Sporty Stuff TV on the night.
Yep.
How big is that? Like, and will that affect you at all going into the ring? Kind of the nerve side of it, that your fight's actually being broadcast.
I know. Well, the thing is, for me, I just don't want to overthink it too much. Like, I spoke to my manager Steve and Kevin, and obviously when I first, you know, got told about it and stuff, I was like, oh my god, like, going to be on TV, and they were like, literally, Loz, you just gotta do what you do, like you do in the gym. You know, when you get in there, just do what you've always done, no different. You know, don't let the occasion get to you. So that's a big thing. I'm always telling myself that, don't let the occasion get to you. Obviously, we'll see on the night. I don't plan for it to get to me. You know, I'm going to get in there and I'm switching on, and that's it. But yeah, it's a big thing. And I think if I didn't have those nerves, it wouldn't be normal. You know, and I have been in it long enough now, over 10 years, to know that nerves actually are a good thing. And if you haven't got the nerves, you kind of need to be a little bit worried, because the nerves keep you sharp. So I don't want to be over nervous to the point where I'm like, oh my God, I can't cope, but you need a little bit of that.
Yeah, you want to channel it in the right way.
Yeah, it's going to fire me up, I think. So yeah, it's good.
Do you prepare any different mentally, kind of in the gym with Paul and with Paul? Do you kind of go through anything that takes you through those motions of what it will be on fight night, but then give you the opportunity to think about what it will be like with cameras there, for instance?
Not really. No, we don't really do any sort of mental stuff. It's literally just get down to the work, really.
Get in and fight.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think my mindset's changed a little bit over the past 2 years. I don't know why. I don't know whether it's just because of my training and the certain training that I've been doing. It's just made me believe what I'm actually capable of. Like, there's certain things that I'm doing, I'm like, I'm pretty sure no one else is doing this stuff, you know. And I've got to say, a lot of it is down to Paul Webber, because he does a lot of the strength and conditioning side of things. You know, and then obviously mixed with Paul Day and stuff, I've been doing the boxing technical. But yeah, I've just kind of I don't know, I just feel like I believe in myself more. I feel that I've come a long way in 2 years. I don't know whether that's with age, just with time, and I don't know. Maybe the opportunity that I've just been given, it's like, you know, this is the real deal now, Loz. You've got to really crack on and knuckle down, and, you know, if you really want it, you've got to go for it. So maybe just a shift in mindset. But yeah, I feel, yeah, all round, I just feel way more confident. But no, we don't really do any set mindset stuff, if you like. Maybe I probably should, but yeah, I don't know.
Fine. You'll be fine. Yeah. Do you think this opens doors for you in terms of not just kind of profile and exposure to people, but potential career opportunity, you know, further down the line, next fight after that, start looking at, you know, bigger fights?
Well, hopefully, I mean, that's the plan, you know. For me, I want to get this one out of the way. Like I said, it's been 2 years. You know, I need to get the ball rolling again. And I believe I'm getting in there with a pretty decent girl. But yeah, once I move past this hurdle, then definitely, you know, we want to move on to bigger and better things. You know, time isn't on my side necessarily. You know, I'm not 21 anymore. But so yeah, so I've not really got loads and loads of time left. Plenty of time, but not loads. So yeah, I think, yeah, I really want to knuckle down, crack on, take opportunities when they come, and just see what it brings to me, really. We spoke about potentially like the Commonwealth title, going for that if that's up there for grabs, and then potentially world titles. But again, for me, I like to, obviously I've got that big long-term goal, but I just like to take mini steps at a time. Otherwise, sometimes it can be a little bit too overwhelming. So step by step, and just, yeah, break everyone down and we'll get there.
Building blocks. And we mentioned earlier about Tasha Jonas being there. Are you also going to be in the company of the likes of Richard Poxon, of Gareth A. Davis, of Anthony Crolla? How special is that going to feel for you? And again, like that confidence boost of your boxing in front of these people who have done so much in and for the sport.
Exactly. I've never personally met any of them. Spoken to Richard quite a bit. He seems a really nice guy, so it'd be good to meet him. Never met Tasha, Anthony Crolla, or Gareth. So yeah, it'd be great to meet them. And they've been in around the sport, very knowledgeable, know their stuff, you know. So to be amongst them and mixing with those types of people, it's kind of like, wow, you know. It's just big for me. You know, little Loz from Hertfordshire, you know, now we're hitting the big time. And yeah, it's just great to be among that mix of people. So yeah, I'm sure I'll fit in.
Yeah, but again, it's a testament to your skill, your talent, your perseverance with it all. You should take it as a confidence boost.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying my best. Yeah.
Go back to your training team. We've mentioned them a few times. So you train with, as you say, Paul Webber, so dad of William Webber, super middleweight. Yeah. I know you do a lot of training in their environment.
Yes.
And with Paul Day. How does that all fit together in terms of kind of blending it so you get Paul Day's technical expertise? You know, Paul Webber's got technical expertise as well, but also the strength and conditioning side. What does that look like in terms of your training regime?
So Paul Webber is kind of in charge. Well, he, throughout the lockdown, did a lot of training with him. So coming out of the pandemic and, you know, signing with Unified and going forward from that point, he sort of wrote my structure, if you like. So I do there's a lot of routines that he set out that I'll do in the gym where I'm sat now. And then I go to him on Saturdays and do strength and conditioning with him. Obviously my running, I do that on my own. And then 3 times a week, I'm with Paul Day for technical, which is in Stevenage. So it's only about a 15-minute drive for me from my house. So I go see him for technical stuff. A little bit of technical as well with Paul Webber on Saturdays. But yeah, we've got everything set out just lovely, really. The whole schedule that is set out, every session complements one another. And I think that's one thing that's been good for me as well, because I think when I look back, sometimes I was overdoing it, you know, or I'd get really tired at some points. But I've got a really strong mindset that whatever you tell me to do, I just get it done. I don't care how long it takes or whatever, you just get it done. I don't know how hard it is, doesn't matter, you just get it done. Whereas now, it's sometimes Paul has set out sessions that are incredibly hard, but that might only be in the gym for 30 minutes and then I'm back out. And then in the evening, it might be boxing specifics, then I'll get up and then I'll run in the morning. So it's not like, oh my God, I've got to spend an hour and a half in the gym, or, oh, you know, everything's just done specifically. And I think that's been a real good turning point for me because I'm getting enough rest time. It's good for my mindset again. Yeah, so everything is just planned out, just spot on really, and complements me. And obviously working with Paul Webber a lot throughout the pandemic and stuff, he's got used to the way that I train. So he's kind of structured it with how my body works, if you know, and what suits me best. And it's got the best out of me, really.
Yeah.
So
smart and not
it's
harder.
great.
Smart and not harder, Lauren.
Exactly, yeah.
And I've seen you've been out sparring. I mean, you're always out sparring, aren't you? But the likes of Ram Rally you're out with recently. So you're mixing in, again, kind of top tier opponents. How's that been?
It's been great. You know, for me, this is what I said to like my coaches and stuff. I said, I need to be mixing with these girls. Like, if you want to be at the top, you've got to mix with them. You can't stay sparring the same people all the time or stay in your comfort zone. You've got to go out of that, you know. And it was funny enough because I was having a conversation with my coach on one of the sessions, and as soon as I come out of the gym, Ram Rally had popped me a message saying, oh, do you want to do some sparring? And our schedules weren't really working. And then I just went out my way. I was like, right, I'll fix this. And we managed to sort it out, which was great. So yeah, really great experience to spar with her. Lovely person, though, very welcoming. And again, it just, because, you know, she's a very talented girl, been to the Olympics and stuff, boxed on these matchroom shows, good amateur. And I'm getting in there and I feel like I'm matching. I'm up there with them, you know, and they're really, really good competitive spars as well. So that's another confidence boost in itself. I spar a lot with Shannon Ryan, who, again, we have cracking spars, you know, very competitive. She's quick, very nimble. Yeah, really, really good. Test each other. Tyson Gallagher, she just had her pro debut. We've helped her quite a bit throughout her training camp. She's a great, pushes me, have some great spars. And tomorrow, actually, I'm sparring Nina Hughes, who I don't actually know too much about, but I think she's she's up there with the good ones as well. So I'll be interested to see how that one goes. So I'm excited for that. But yeah, it's good to just mix with these top girls, and you need to be able to push yourself, really.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So going back, November 26th. I mean, it's such a big night. I say for women's boxing, you can't overplay how big a night it is for, as you say, women's boxing, men's boxing. Whether people treat them separately or the same is almost by the by. The fact is that it is an all women's card. Yeah. Like, what do you think, or for those kind of people out there that haven't paid attention to the female side of the sport before, what do you think that you can show on the night? Not just you, but everybody involved in it, that perhaps they won't have seen before?
I just think, to be fair, that it's going to show just how good women are. You know, everyone looks at boxing as a male sport. Okay, yeah, it has been, it is known as that, but there's so many more women coming through, and I think it's just going to showcase just how skilled we are, determined we are, how game we are. Everything, you know, everything's going to come into play. You know, like I said previously, I feel like us girls, we've got a lot to prove, because we are in a male dominated sport. So I think they've got that more, they've got, well, a lot of grit and determination coming forward, and I think you're going to see that in the fights, whether it be on Unified or, you know, they watch Unified and then go on to watch other female boxers as well. You're always going to see that, I think, from the women. And I think it could change a lot of people's thoughts on it. You know, I still speak to people now where they don't agree with women's boxing. You know, my mum recently said to one of her friends, oh, do you want to come down to watch Lauren box on the Unified show? Oh no, you know, I don't like boxing, so I won't be coming. And it's just like, I don't know, there's other people that say I don't like women's boxing or women shouldn't be in there. I just really disagree with it. You know, I agree with it if you pick someone off the street and you put in a young girl in there who's never been trained, you know, fair enough, they shouldn't be in there. I'd be happy to say that. But the likes of myself and these girls that are, you know, putting themselves out there, they've trained, they want to do it, they've got these goals just like the men, accept it for what it is. No one's forcing them to go in there. So yeah, I just think, yeah, you're gonna see way more from women. It's gonna be exciting, and I think a lot of opinions are going to be changed.
Yeah, and so tune in November 26th. We'll turn up in Sheffield, Unified Promotion on Sporty Stuff TV. And as you say, it is an opportunity to highlight, to showcase, and to change opinions, and hopefully back up those opinions of people that already support women's boxing. Exactly.
No, it'll be a great night. I'm really looking forward to it. And it's going to be great to be around such great people, really, you know, and be a part of the mix. So I'm really looking forward to it. It'll be good.
Are you only saying that because I'm going to be there, Lauren?
You're going to be there, yeah?
No, I'm going to be there.
Even better.
Get to actually meet you at last. It would be great.
Yeah. Ah, brilliant.
Excellent. Right. Thank you so much, Lauren. Look forward to it. November 26th up in Sheffield, yes. Unified Promotions card on Sporty Stuff TV. Wish you nothing but the best. It'll be a fantastic night. I look forward to it.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.